Okay, so it's gonna be Jerry Jones versus the Falcons. Dallas Cowboys versus
All
the
right,
Falcons. Yeah, Pete, man, what's your thoughts on this matchup? You know, this is an in division team for
all
me,
right.
so I'm gonna hold back a little bit, but I'm just gonna let you sort of take the floor here.
Okay, so there's a very intriguing matchup. Currently, it's not like a top matchup, but it's still a very intriguing matchup in Week 9 of the NFL season because the Falcons, who are currently leading their division, sitting at 5-3, and then the Dallas Cowboys at 3-4. So there's a game. It's almost like a can't lose game for Dallas in because of their records. If they lose, they drop to 3-5, and Philly and Washington are way ahead in the standings. They're 6-2. So Philly and Washington are a good 2 games or 3 games ahead of them
Hmm.
for the Cowboys to catch up within the division. So this for me looking at it is a can't lose game for the Cowboys because the Falcons can lose this game and they will still be in a hunt to win the division and make the playoffs. Now, when looking at this matchup, it's very interesting because Dallas currently have an issue whereby they can't stop the run, basically, right? And the Falcons, they're not running the ball enough. I
Mm.
mean, looking at how talented Bijan Robinson is, 546 yards in Week 9, that is, for me, that's a disappointing output because he was billed as one of those next top elite running backs. He has a
Yeah.
skill set,
Yep.
but it hasn't come together for him in terms of running the football.
I think
And
teams
part of
are
it is that
using him.
they haven't given him enough attempts. So he was drafted by a team that seems to want a balanced offense whereby it lean more towards the pass because of Kirk Cousins and the weapons that they got. Whereas if he was in a team that was like a run first or run focused, at first we see the rushing numbers. So that's interesting to keep an eye on. You've got the wide receivers versus cornerback matchups. I expect Drake London, CD Lamb, Cal Pitts to be able to ball out. They'll do their own thing. But I'm slightly favoring the Falcons in this one because I believe they have the more of a complete team to compete and win this game. And it'll be another L for Jerry. I don't know whether this will be third in a row. But hey, if Jerry loses 3 in a row, somebody's head's got to roll, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's. I'm sure it's not where Dallas wants to be. Here's the thing: like a lot of people are saying keys to this game is getting CD Lamb the ball, but the reality is, I'm pretty sure they've been trying to do that these last 2 games and they've failed miserably. But here's the thing about
No,
Dallas:
no, no. It's not like they failed. They haven't won. They've got him the ball. Like
they haven't
in
won.
the game that they just lost,
Yeah,
he had I think he had something like 12 catches, 146 yards, and 2 touchdowns,
146.
and
Okay,
they
yeah,
still
yeah, yeah,
lost.
yeah. It's still a loss. I think maybe team football, they're not playing what they need. They're not
Hmm.
playing the way they need to, and it's kind of like when Dallas backs are against the wall. I think that's when they kind of play their best football. It's kind of weird to say, like the games that they
That they
can't
play
lose.
when they're under pressure.
Yeah, they play well when they're under pressure, but it's the games where it's like, yeah, no, we're going in, we should win. That's when they put up like a poo performance and they just get rolled. But so here's the thing. I know you're saying ATL should win this, but I think Dallas are going to sort of realize that their season's on the line and they can't afford to mess up. Coaches are going to coach the hell out of this game. No doubt their preparation has kind of had a lot more urgency going into this week as well, because the coaches
Hmm.
know that for a lot of them, like McCarthy might get like a saving grace because Jerry Jones likes him, but these other positional coaches aren't quite as safe. So I think a lot of coaches are just making sure that they've done their due diligence before this game, and sometimes that can kind of help sway things in your favor. So I mean, I'm picking Dallas to win, but it's not going to be clean. That's for sure. There's a chance they can lose too, but I think with their back against the wall, we always get the best Dallas. But yeah, it's always going to be like a monkey's paw or something. Like they win the game, but they lose a valuable player. I don't know, something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
going to be like
but
they
it's
win the
interesting
game, he's
because
dislocated his elbow or something like that. He's going to be out. I don't know.
I go
Touch
back every
wood.
time I talk about that Dallas's games. I always go back to the one guy. You know who I'm talking about. He needs to stop all this podcast and all this foolishness and nonsense that he's doing and be a football player first. I know you're a Dallas Cowboy and you're building up the hype. Be a football player. Because for me personally, I'm a little disappointed in what Micah has put out there. I mean, when we're talking about top edge guys like that are fearful that teams will not come at, You look at Miles Garrett, TJ Watt, like they're trying to, whether it's run or pass, they're trying not to run to their side because they're gonna wreck it. Micah thinks he's as talented as them, but I don't think so because you haven't shown what those guys have shown throughout the course of their career. So if you're doing a podcast, then just play football.
Yeah, no, he's got to be careful, man. He could be the next Cameron Wake. You know what I mean? Great player, legend for his team. People will always love him, but everyone's gonna look like, bro. When people first saw you, they thought you were gonna be like the second coming or like the little brother to LT. But then you
Mm,
just never became that guy, and that's how what people thought he was gonna be. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna ever be able to match LT, but I think a lot of people said he kind of reminded them of like a young LT, like the little brother. If LT had like a spiritual little brother, it would be Michael
hmm
Parsons, but he hasn't lived up to that expectation so far. And he's underperforming. We all know he has the skill set. It's the 1-2 because he kind of knows that he kind of gained a lot of respect from a lot of players early because of how he played. So I don't
hmm
know, you kind of get that feeling like he's kind of like he's no longer playing like he has anything to prove. I think he kind of feels as though like he's like a made man as far as like I'm gonna get my money because I am the best defender they've got, you know.
hmm
Or if I don't get my money here, another team's gonna pay me max either way. And I've earned the respect of my peers as well. You know, the only thing I think he wants now is a ring. And Micah seems to be the type of guy that if he thinks he can't get one in Dallas, I wouldn't be surprised if he you know, because he's gonna get the money, he might decide to sort of, you know, say, hey, listen, I want to go to a contender, you know.
hmm
But yeah.